Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Busters Taste Challenge. A little glint of daylight coming in right here now. I have two American bourbon whiskeys. This is Jesse James, the original Jesse James, America's Outlaw Bourbon Whiskey. First taste of freedom. 40% alcohol. This liter was $7.99 at Savannah Discount. True story. I found it for $7.99. Always drink upstream from the herd. Okay. This whiskey is at least 24 months old. Bottled by Jesse James Distilling Company, Mira Loma, California. It's bottled by them. Who produces it? Well, it's weird because it doesn't say. Charcoal mellowed, aged in oak casks. Well, it has to be aged in oak to be bourbon, so or to be whiskey. Let's see. So it's it's made somewhere in the United States. That's all we know. It's bourbon, so it's made in the United States, but it's probably a blend of bourbons from various states. It's probably they don't have a distillation location because it's from different locations. But at least we know it's bottled in California for Jesse James Dupree and his company. All right, so you could track it from there at least. All right, I've been seeing this around for like $18 for a 750 now. $18 for a 750. Like I said, this is a liter, and Savannah Discount had it for $7.99. Crazy story, but true story. So I took advantage of it. I had to. Now this is Evan Williams 1783 small batch, introduced in 2021. This version, they changed the proof on it in 2021, made it stronger. This is the 2023 American Hero Edition, which is a warehouse pick from Bernheim Distillery. Not really a distillery, more like a blending and bottling plant, but they might distill there, but they don't give tours, so it's from it's these veterans picked whiskey, and they picked these two warehouses when they gave them their picks. Warehouse says it somewhere. 1E and 1J at Bernheim Distillery. Okay. Yeah, that's right. They do distill there. What am I thinking? I was listening to somebody else with their incorrect information. I've seen photos of it. Of the distillery, the copper pot stills and everything. But they don't give tours, so you could take a picture from the street, maybe. All right. Maybe they would give you a special tour if you ask. I don't know. All right. I did that at a brewery one time. The guy was like, we don't give tours, but he still gave me a tour. Okay. A microbrewery. So it was only one big room in a warehouse. Still was interesting, No, I'm mean. Okay. Let's do a screen share. And I'm going to show you this strangeness here. That's their new release. Here, whoops, barrel strength. See, they have a barrel strength. Tennessee single barrel. Devil spirit, cinnamon spirit. Everybody's got to make their cinnamon. Spiced whiskey. Everybody makes spiced whiskey. Honey flavored. Yep, that too. Now here's the one I'm talking about. And then there's also this new release. Might have seen some of these other variants, but I wasn't interested. So here's Jesse James bourbon whiskey, made in the spirit of Outlaw. Fine. Old time charcoal mellowed. Common method. Aged in oak casks, a minimum of 36 months. Well, wait a minute. My bottle says 24 months, 2 years, not 3. And every time I find this, and I just saw it last week, about 2 weeks ago, and it said 24 months. So all the bottles that show up in Louisiana, at least 2-year age. So there is a discrepancy. I don't know what the story is, but I can only go by what I'm looking at Now here's Evan Williams, small batch thing, 90 proof, sour, extra aged, 6 to 8 years. They say late on the Heaven Hill website. There's no official age statement on the bottle. So age statement, nice black and gold with a white trim bottle label, bottle shape. Yep. Okay. Let me add to the notes here. Charcoal mellowed. So we don't know who's contracting this for Jesse James Dupree. Could be Brown Foreman for all I know. Could be made by Jack Daniel's Distillery and just sent to California and bottled. And that's why it's not straight bourbon, because it's more than likely have bourbon from other states blended together. That's totally allowed. Not a problem. You just can't call it straight bourbon because it's not all from the same state. It's just a little technical difference. Now, they're both the same shade of copper or amber, reddish, rust. So the appearance is not going to make a difference here. That won't get me mixed up. Now, I've gotten this wrong twice. I got the Evan Williams green label mixed up with the 1783. I don't know how, but I did. And I got the Jim Beam Black 8-year age, no longer produced, but I have a bottle mixed up in that. That got me confused too, but they're both sour mash. They're both aged 6 to 8 years, or in the case of the Jack Daniel's Black, at least 8 years. And they just weren't that different one from another, except the Jack Daniel's was not the Jack Daniel's. I'm sorry, the Jim Beam was darker. It was darker. I just had to close my eyes, but I couldn't tell them apart. So you might make a contention that all of these whiskeys are very different one from another. And maybe they are, and I just can't tell them apart. I can't tell the difference. That's possible. But really, it needs to be demonstrated. If you're going to make that claim, then do the blind taste test. Not an open taste test where you're looking at the bottles. I saw a video yesterday. A guy was doing Foster's and Coors. Foster's Lager, Coors Banquet. He was looking at the can, pouring. So it was an open taste. It was just a tasting. It wasn't a taste challenge anyway. He wasn't claiming that he could tell them apart. He wasn't trying to find out if he could tell the difference. He was just looking at them and talking about it. And what he decided at the end was that they were very similar one to another. In his mind, they were very close. So I guess in that sense, a blind taste test wasn't necessary because he was saying it openly. They were about the same. But to be on the safe side, I think a blind taste test is a better way to go, because then you can weed out any or try to weed out any kind of nagging variables, things that could screw it up. And you don't want variables to screw it up. Now, Jesse James is a kind of an off-brand, like you want to call it an off-brand. It's just unusual. Like it's not well known. And it's not really cheap. I can't say it's an off-brand. It's a budget bourbon because, like I said, the regular price is $18. I mean, you can find, sometimes they'll have Four Roses on sale for $18, or they had the 1783 for $18.99 this week. Well, they got it right now for $18.99. I got it for $9. That was a super discount at Walmart, $9 plus tax. Well, thank you, Shane, that he found that for me. And he found a bottle, and then he said, I'm going to get you one next time I pass by Walmart to do something. And then it was all gone. So he let me buy his bottle from him. But I told him, don't do that. I said, don't do it because I don't even need it. I got so much bourbon now. It's going to take years to get through it. So he said, no. And he wanted me to have it. I said, okay. He was more generous than me, because if I had been looking for it, I'd have kept it. But, I don't think he was really looking for it. He just saw the deal, I guess his attitude was he could take it or leave it. for $9, I'm going to take it. You know, obviously I'm going to get it because I do plan on doing all these bourbons. People ask me about Maker's Mark. I would like to do Maker's Mark. I have actually never tried Maker's Mark, but it's just a feasibility issue at this point. It's not a money issue. It's simply a feasibility issue. Time. You say, well, you got time. I have the time. I could do many taste challenges most every day, but then that would be insanity because then you would run into other problems. So one a day is enough. Some people might argue too much, and I wouldn't counter argue that. I'm just saying it's your opinion, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't get offended by that. All right. Maxwell says, morning, Jay. Morning to you, Maxwell. Here comes the trash. Waste management people. I hope those people around the corner put their trash out there. Some piling up by the house. Kind of strange people. Okay. Aroma. Yes, I think there's a difference. See, the waste management here, they come early. They come when it's dark. Usually, sometimes it may not come till the afternoon, but maybe they had equipment problems. Yeah, corn, a little sweet corn, and here, faint. There's hardly any aroma here. I mean, there's some, but you may as well say none. All right, taste time. You can see the light from the machine, from the truck. Corn seems like it's about 90 proofs, a little strong. Mild, mellow, medium body, like most whiskey, mostly dry finish. Vanilla, oak, charred oak. Just regular old bourbon whiskey. Like, honestly, is there anything like super spectacularly remarkable about 1783? No, but on the other hand, there's nothing wrong about it either. There's nothing bad. You say, I want a good solid bourbon that tastes really nice and has no negative points to it. Well, there you go. There it is. $18.99. But then I couldn't tell it apart from the regular Evan Williams, which I could get the same size bottle, well, same size amount, because I'd have to get 2 half size, this same amount for $9.98. $9.98, crazy. But I know that dream's going to end soon. That store is going to realize that they need to change the price upwards. So, but I've been taking advantage of it. What the heck? I certainly don't need it, but it's nice. Okay, this has a lot more wood, not so much charred oak. It's just like wood, just oak without too much char. So I'm thinking they're probably using bourbons in this that are lightly charred from whatever states. Might just be from one state. But whatever the case, it's not straight bourbon. So I just think that it's probably from different states. Might be from the same company now. It might be Brown-Forman doing the contract for them, but they might be taking bourbon from Kentucky because they have operations there, and from Tennessee also have operations there, and then sending it to California. Ramen Lover says, good afternoon. Can I ask what is your view on our whiskey in the United Kingdom, mostly from Scotland and Northern Ireland? Personally, I find it all thin and salty. U.S. bourbon is all I buy. No, I don't find it that way. I like Irish whiskey from like Bushmills, the original white label, the Red Bush, that bourbon. It's aged in bourbon barrels, ex-bourbon barrels. Bushmills Black. I like that, and Scotch whiskey, the Glenlivet 12, Glenlivet Family Reserve. White Horse blended Scotch. Yeah, I like all of it. I don't have an issue with it, but maybe you're sensitive to the flavors. I'm not. But in this case, so yeah, they're fine to me. But everybody's got their preferences, so that's my opinion. I like them. So wood. Now, could it be the charcoal mellowing that's affecting this? Not in a negative way, just affecting it, making it taste a certain way. Could be, yeah. I like it. Definitely like it. Huh. There's a strange little wine taste. Oh, you're welcome. It's not a bad, it's almost like sherry. It's not a bad flavor. It's just strange and I'm not expecting it. Like bourbon, you wouldn't think have a sherry flavor. But yeah, there is that. Hmm. Could you age bourbon in sherry barrels? No, because it wouldn't be bourbon. It would be American whiskey. Has to be aged in charred oak. New charred oak. That's the key word for bourbon. New key word. Never before used. Fine. You want to age a whiskey in X sherry barrels? No problem there. Go ahead. It just can't be called bourbon. It'd be called American. You can make it the same way as bourbon, but it wouldn't be technically it wouldn't be bourbon. Morning Ron Thunder and Thursday tonight. No, not this week. Uh, but maybe next week we could do that. Let me look at my calendar. Oh boy. Yes, I suppose we could do Thunder and Thursday on May 2nd. There we go. Now, if anybody wants to join, if not, I'll do it alone. But somebody will probably want to join. Usually, Jean Pierre likes to join, and other people will jump in. All right, you got it. I think this is the Jesse James because it has an unusual flavor. But don't take that the wrong way. I don't mean a bad flavor. I don't mean a off flavor or anything negative. It's just unusual. That doesn't mean bad because everything does not have to taste the same. Some people get this impression, everything got to taste the same. Like with beer reviews, they're the worst. You watch beer reviews and they'll be angry about the beer because it doesn't taste like all the rest. I'm like, well, why would you want everything to taste the same? Now I could understand if it's a stout and it tastes like a light lager, that would be really, really weird. And I've had beers like that too that's just totally wrong, like or something's wrong with it, like it might be spoiled or whatever. Could be spoiled, But I'm not talking about those type of issues. I got it. It is the Jesse James. So Jesse James, America's Outlaw Bourbon Whiskey. That's the full name of it. You're probably going to have trouble finding it, but not in Louisiana too much. It's not anywhere in this parish. So I'm saying it's not hard to find, but it's not even sold where I live. Funny. So that's the indication right there. Like this is going to be in every town where they sell liquor. Evan Williams, 1783. So may not be the American Hero edition. Okay, but so there's a difference. So the availability is going to be limited for Jesse James. The price is going to be fine. That's not an issue. And the flavor is a bit unusual. but good. It's good. I gave it a good score when I first tried it. And so, I mean, the label's kind of plain, but hey, well, it's a contract bourbon, or as they say in United Kingdom, they call it a independent bottler. It's the same thing. Over there, they call it independent bottler because the people bottling it is independent from the company they bought the whiskey from. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just say, okay, make this for us and we'll put it in a bottle. Here we call it contract distilled. But it's the same thing. They do that with food, right? Like Walmart. Oh, here's our coffee. Great value coffee. But they don't have a coffee mill. Walmart doesn't own coffee mills. They pay somebody to make it for them. And they don't even bottle it or can it. They don't even have a warehouse where they can the stuff. It's all packaged on a line from some other company, probably Folgers. You see, so some people get a real uproar over this. Like, oh, they didn't even make their own whiskey. Templeton didn't even make their own rye whiskey. Yeah, okay, but it's a common practice. The only problem is when somebody's trying to make it look like they made it, like blatantly trying to make it look like it's at their distillery in some state. It's like, no. Don't be talking about we do it. At least Trader Joe's store, they're open about it. They'll say, we contracted with a good liquor company, bourbon company, to make this bourbon for us. They'll just say that. No deception, no games. They're not playing any games. That's a good price point, says Playtime. It is. Tommy Carroll says, good morning, Louisiana Liquor Reviews. As a former teacher, what is your opinion of these riots at these colleges? I think it's an example of the chickens coming home to roost. These universities want to be all Karl Marxists and they want to be revolutionaries and they're doing all of this agitation, propaganda, agitation, propaganda and everything. And now they ran into an issue that's got conflicting problems within their own revolutionary movement, you see, because now you've got groups within that umbrella, which are both part of that left-hand course, but they don't like each other, you see. So now they got to pick sides, and now it's left versus left. It's like Trotsky versus Stalin, Either way you go, it's a bad guy going after a bad guy, So it's sort of comical in a way that the people who engineered a lot of this revolutionary activity, now they are out hiding out on these campuses. I can't go to class. I feel threatened. It's sort of like Frankenstein's monster, that story. It's like the doctor who created the virus is now being threatened by the virus. Well, you open Pandora's box and now you're paying for it. So I don't know. It's like I'm watching it and I'm like, okay. What goes around comes around. It's like you made this. You created this. This is your creation. And now it's coming back to, it's like in France, they say, oh, look, the people who helped foster the immigration crisis are now being threatened by it. It's like, well, you're the one that demanded this happen, and now these people are coming after you. Would you thought they were going to start liking you because then they're researching who's perpetuating it? They're not. So it's a real interesting story. But I don't have a horse in the race. You see, my only attitude is that USA should be totally neutral in this Arab-Israeli conflict. Totally neutral, not funding either side. People ask me, do we give too much money to Israel? I say, yeah, any money is too much. And that goes for any other country, though, in case you think I'm singling them out. Some people got this idea I'm singling them out. That's not true. I wouldn't support foreign aid to any country. Actually, Canada, United Kingdom, Spain, Afghanistan, Congo, the Congo Republic, French Congo, Belgian Congo, Lesotho, the Maldives Islands, Israel, Jordan, nobody, nothing, no foreign aid. Okay, so you can't accuse me of taking sides because I don't have a side. Okay, have you done Yingling Lager review? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And the premium lager. All right, y'all take care now. Bye-bye. I have a winner here. Oh, well, which one tastes better? Oh, well, that's up in the air. I can tell them apart. Not an issue. But which one tastes better? That's debatable. Actually, that is actually debatable. And I'm not sure about the answer. I'm thinking maybe the 1783, but that's, like I say, that's debatable. And I'm not going to claim to have a favorite when I, in fact, do not. And I do not. All right. Bye-bye, y'all.